something in particular I want to focus on while I'm Secretary of State. And it's going to be the thread which runs through every single thing that I do. And it's about improving access. I want every person, no matter where they are from or what stage of life they are at, to have the chance to participate and to rise to the top of the industry's DCMS covers, to the top of the arts, to tech, and of course, sport. Who among us was not inspired by the success of our athletes at the Olympians and Paralympics this summer in Tokyo? Who among us is not already looking ahead to building on the fantastic opportunities which will be provided by the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham next year? Our role models from all over the UK, they're not confined to London or to only wealthy areas. Just look at Tom Daley, Kadina Fox, or Sir Andy Murray. But while talent is evenly spread, opportunity is not. It can be so much harder for children from disadvantaged backgrounds to make the most of their potential. Whether that's because they can't afford the equipment, they can't get onto a court or a pitch that they need to, or they just cannot access the other lessons or coaching that other children have. Children should be competing on a level playing field from day one. And so we must work together to open up access on every rung of the ladder. Earlier this month, the government announced £30 million for PE teacher training and opening up school facilities to provide access to the wider community. And alongside that funding, we announced a £30 million package with the Lawn Tennis Association to renovate 4,500 park tennis courts up and down the country. You will all know that some of the tennis courts which are available out there now for members of the public and for young people particularly to use are actually unusable. And the point of this funding is to refurbish those courts so people do have access to them. We were all so delighted to watch Emma Raducanu triumph at the US Open, and I didn't want to wait another 4 decades for us to find our next Emma Raducanu. And I don't want a budding young sports star from a council estate in Leeds to be held back because they can't afford to buy a racket, let alone coaching, or because they're forced to play on one of those shabby old tennis courts which I'm afraid we can find up and down the country. I want our next tennis champion to be just as likely to come from Burnley as Bromley. So we're making sure our new tennis funding can be delivered in the most deprived areas with the most dilapidated courts. The same was true when we announced a £50 million investment in grassroots pitches over the summer. That money was targeted at left-behind communities. The same was true when Sports England launched Studio U, a new digital resource designed to help teachers engage less active teenage girls in PE lessons. And this is only the start. Whatever I'm working on, whatever the department is investing in, I want it to go towards opening doors for people who have been shut out of success. For me, it may be about places, it may be about regional growth, it may be about economics, but most importantly, within my department, it is about people. And I look forward to working with you all on that mission. Sport England's 20 million Tackling Inequalities Fund is a great example of how we can work together to improve access to those most impacted by the pandemic, including people from disadvantaged backgrounds. So this is my challenge to you today, to use your businesses and your networks and your channels to do all that you can do to broaden the sector's reach and to lift up those who are in need. That way, we can tackle health inequality at its roots, and everyone has the same chance to live a happy, healthy life, no matter where they came from.